Hello guys, welcome to Outpatient Health System. Today I'm going to be talking about, first of all I'd like to thank everyone who's tuning in. I'm going to be talking about the stressful transition period if you've had a heart related problem, recently diagnosed or otherwise. You may know some family member who's going through a heart-related condition at the minute or just been diagnosed with that. This is for you. This is for you. Okay? Now, in the early days of my research, I came across a body of work from a professor of Gothenburg University. This lady is a professor of cardiology, and her name is Annika Rosengren. Annika Rosengren. So, in my desire and research to get healthy, I came across a small body of work and an interesting story that led me down another path. Okay, they did a study across 52 countries around the world, right? Now, what you've got to understand is, when you talk about 52 countries, you're generally going to get a lot of cultures there, and that's an interesting, I want to make that an interesting, something I've spotted there, right, the culture change. Now, with that said, there was 29 to 30,000 people took place, and one thing all these people had in common when they filled out and when they were examined, right, was one thing, and that was stress. And that linked all these people who had heart problems in 52 countries. Stress. And that went across all the cultures as well. So if that's going across the cultures, we've generally got a diverse application of diets there, see. If you can imagine, India was one of the countries. Now, I don't actually know the countries, but if you can imagine India, where they use certain spices, and then Asia, where they're using other spices, you know, and then maybe France, you know. So that's an interesting point there, and that got me doing more research on stress. How does that apply to you? Haha, great. That applies to you because you're currently in that stressful situation, and we're led to believe that while you're in a stressful situation, you are 3 times more likely to have an heart-related event than someone who's not in a stressful situation. Okay, now the immediate answer to that, I will tell you immediately, is laughter and happiness. Now, if you can keep yourself in a really, really happy place with your family members or your loved ones, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, just think, keep yourself in a happy place. Because I also, at some point, came across other research that being happy and laughter brings about antioxidant production in the body. So, there you have it. A really, really interesting body of research, right, that defines stress as the #1 bringer of heart-related problems. Now, obviously, a lot of people don't think you can measure stress, but you measure stress through the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. These govern the HPA, that stands for the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis. These two systems run this axis, and that's where you measure stress, by raised cortisol levels. Now, I'm going to be doing another video on raised cortisol levels, and I'm going to talk extensively about this stress system. So I was never going to go into it here, but it's an amazing system, and I've got to explain it to you. when I explain it to you, the fact that you've had an heart attack and how it came about, it might change for the first time since you had the heart attack, and everyone else for that matter. I really, really hope you've enjoyed listening to that about stress and how to immediately dispel it. Right? I will talk in the future when I relate stress, how it comes about, right, in the mind, and how that's relayed into the physical being. So I will be talking extensively. Please look out for that video. It should be another great one. And thanks for listening to me.